Mabuhay, Kamustika. Welcome. This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. How will I know my Filipina girlfriend can be trusted? We're going to continue talking about trust today. And that's the second question that I posed. How will I know she can be trusted? So I've had many surgeries in my life, and I'm probably not done having them, although I hope so. If you asked me if I trusted the surgeons, some of whom I really never met before, I probably would respond that I have no choice. That I might add that, he has experience doing them, I know that, but admit that I never really met him, got to know them, and can only make some assumptions about these surgeons. There are some physicians through my life experience I definitely do not trust. I believe they have been unethical and try to do things to harm my health, should have their licenses revoked. They proved themselves untrustworthy due to their shameful behavior. The Filipina I married had not done anything like that. Got married in less than 8 weeks. Please comment on the issue of trust, how you can know you can trust a woman overseas, or what runs through your mind as I'm bringing this topic to light. How will I know she can be trusted? Well, I hope you don't mind when I answer this question with, I will only know she can be trusted after she has proven she can be. It takes a lot of situations to be seen as reliable, gain my confidence, and feel safe physically and emotionally with her. Way more than I can acquire through dating only. That would be revealed only through many years of marriage. She can prove herself untrustworthy, right, relatively quickly, but to be proven worthy of trust, that requires an impeccable reputation or evidence over a very long time. Can't do that, though, unless you want to wait forever to get married, and I certainly didn't. I never asked her if she could be trusted, never really got into it. I didn't see any reason for me not to trust her. We chatted at least 4 hours a day, more on the weekends, and when we got engaged, and only 18 days continued to talk up until the time I met her and we got married in the Philippines. So if you know me, we didn't waste a lot of time talking about fluff. She knew I had a corny sense of humor, but for the most part, she knew that I was someone very serious about marriage and how it should work, and was looking for someone who, thought the same things. She was consistent in the comments that she made. There weren't contradictory statements, no lies. Did she tell me absolutely everything about herself? No, because I didn't ask her, and how would she know everything I would be curious about? I met her friends. That's a good thing to do. Some principal sponsors, people that know her, principal sponsors from, women or men and women at the wedding that know her well. That was a nice experience. Met her family, of course, and unless every last person was in on the fix, I was observing normal behavior from all. It has been 7 years, and I can say I've been married to my best friend, and now I just couldn't be without her. She knows how much she matters to me. Over that time, I think I have earned more trust, and she has earned more trust too. At what point in time will I have the revelation that this woman has passed all the tests with flying colors and be counted on to be trusted 100% of the time for the rest of our lives? I don't know. Maybe that'll never happen. I wouldn't know how to properly interrogate her to be absolutely sure she isn't holding something back. You could say we had the minimum amount of trust when we got married, or we, put major emphasis on the trust that we had. I'm not really sure. Now, some people, seem to give me the impression that their lack of trust level is so high, and there's no reason for it. I don't know why they don't trust her. Maybe because they had a bad experience with somebody else, but that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with this person. Or they're listening to people tell them you can't trust any Filipinas. And so they file that away, and they view her with that kind of distorted lens. Now, my wife, before we were married, and she was still in the Philippines, before I had met her, she talked to my pastor at church on a Skype call. I think it was a Saturday morning, late for her, later, but really early for him over here, and met my mother and aunt, and no one had any issues with her or with us. Yes, some people at work, for example, had their concerns. However, they were not the ones doing the work of spending 4 hours a day talking to each other. So that's something, they're just on the outside looking in. If there's anything she hasn't told me, I would assume it's not really important. There are people who are able to beat lie detector tests, Could probably Google that and find out how they do it. But I had a reasonable sense she could be trusted enough for us to start a life together. I can sleep at night with this approach to my love beyond the sea.